Okay, guys, so welcome to the first video on my brand new YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is going to be primarily over weather updates and just everything weather related. So as you can see, we have the NOAA's National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center's website up, and this basically, so you're sitting at home watching the news, and they give you the weather, and they show all these different colors, these greens, these yellows, these oranges, sometimes even reds, and in very rare cases these purples. They all indicate different things. So that's where this comes from. And at the time of recording, it is 1:25 in the morning, Tuesday, May 28th. So this is today's severe weather outlook. So click to see valid 1Z 12 to 12Z day 1 convective outlook was from yesterday. Nothing too crazy happened. Here we go. So dark green is marginal risk. So this is a marginal risk for severe weather. The yellow is a slight risk for severe weather, and orange is an enhanced risk for severe weather. You can see down to the categorical outlook legend. And the light green just means your basic spring and summertime thunderstorms. Could go severe, probably won't be, but they could. The red is a moderate risk for severe weather, and a 5. And the purple is a 5 high risk for severe weather. But luckily for us, we don't have a moderate or high risk. We just have an enhanced risk for severe weather. So we're going to be diving in, seeing what's all involved in it, see what it's mainly driven by, and go from there. Hopefully it's not anything likely for tornadoes. I mean, the area that's highlighted in that central Texas and West Texas has been heavily hit early on in mid-April. I think there were like 3 or 4 days in a row where there was a chance for like a tornado outbreak, like 4 days in a row. I think 2 or 3 out of those 4 days there were a bunch of tornadoes, a couple of violent strong ones, but nothing rated higher than 3, luckily. We've been pretty close. I think the latest I've heard, and there's still surveys going on, so stuff can be upgraded or downgraded at any time, but the stuff that I've seen and heard, Greenfield, Iowa, has been rated an EF4 with wind speeds of 177 to 188. Like I said, this is all preliminary and surveys are still going on, so stuff can still be upgraded, downgraded. We're hoping for the best, but it looked pretty bad. So yeah, so this is for today. The hail threat is a 15% hatched risk, so the yellow is 15%, and that just means 15% of 1 inch in diameter hail or larger if you live in anywhere in southern and west Texas. But if you're anywhere in this black dash area, that's a 15% hatched risk, meaning you have a 15% risk of seeing greater or 15% probability of seeing 2-inch in diameter hail or larger. So for reference of how big 2 inches is, a baseball is 2 3/4 inch in diameter. So if you think of a Cheez-It is an inch. It is a 1 by 1. It's a 1 square inch. Okay, so you take 2 of those, line them up. That's roughly the size of the hail you're gonna see. That's not small hail. I mean, that can break windows and windshields and dent your cars. So I mean, it's not something to take lightly. The wind threat, ooh, okay, 30% risk of just gusts of 50 knots. Then we have the 30% hatched risk again, which means a 30% chance that you could see wind gusts of 65 knots or greater in central Texas. Okay, this kind of got me nervous for what the tornado potential could look like, but hopefully it's nothing. Okay, so the tornado potential is 2%, so 2% chance of seeing any tornado. Obviously this could get upgraded. I mean, I haven't looked at the models yet. I mean, like I said, right now it's 1:30 in the morning, so I'll have to wait until they post something today. Early, or later, I guess, but for them it'd be early morning. So yeah, so nothing terribly looks, and we've got two 5% areas for 50 knots gusts or stronger, and Montana, Idaho, Oregon, a little bit of Washington, and then Iowa, Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois. And then the hail, you can see the large area, and then you've got your Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana. That's for today. As of tomorrow, now it's moved up north. Okay, for reference, I live in Nebraska. We've heavily been hit by some severe weather and tornadoes, but nothing looks terrible for my area. The hail threat, 15%, so it's just 15% of a Cheez-It size hailstone falling. Okay, no hatched area, so nothing as of now saying that there's a chance of 2 inches in diameter or larger, but it could happen. Just depends how quickly these storms erupt and strengthen. We have some wind, of 15% chance of 50 knot wind gusts or higher. There's no hatched risk, but you could still see some wind gusts of 65 knots. If you don't know what knots miles per hour is, 65 knots is just over 70 miles an hour. It's like 73 miles an hour. So, yeah, so 70 mile an hour winds possible. Good thing is the tornado chances are less than 2% in all areas. So the chance of a tornado are very, very low. If there is one, it'll probably be brief, quick little spin up, probably won't be strong. That obviously can change too, so this is what it looks like. Slight risk for Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado. Marginal risk for the same states I just listed off. Some of Kansas. And then a marginal risk in New Mexico and Texas, and everything else is just your normal springtime thunderstorms. So, good lucky us. Not going to really focus on the day 3 outlook just because it is basically what tomorrow's is. They just haven't updated it yet. So let's go over here to the pivotal weather. We don't want this. We want a GFS model. Okay. We don't want this though. We want precipitation. Yep, this is what we want. Okay, right here. So it's all precipitation. So we got some wind and thunderstorms from down in Texas from today. Let's see what time. I don't think I'm gonna go past anything past Wednesday right now, just because we don't know what Thursday looks like. As we go along here, we'll go to 12Z now. Maybe. Thank you. So yeah, as you can see, some storms firing up. Probably not any risk in severe weather at the moment for these. Oh, okay, so early on, we do have a marginal risk for tornadoes. The only problem, before I get to the problem, we do have a photograph here that does show some spin in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So this is why there's a risk for marginal tornadoes. So that's probably EF1 to EF2. Probably. I don't know for sure. I don't work with the SPC, National Weather Service. It'd be really cool to do, but I don't. Sadly, I'm too young. The Cape is at a 0.2 flat. I've never seen just 0.2. Usually there's a 0 or something after that. So it looks like their marginal tornadoes would be EF1 and EF0. So right down here, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. I hope you can. This white line shows you the tornadoes that could happen. EF1 is hitting right there. Okay? The Cape level is at 2,644 joules per kilogram. That's pretty good. That's pretty high. I mean, tornadoes can spawn in 500 Cape. So 2,000, pretty good amount. The only thing I see here that could weaken the potential for these tornadoes is this little notch down here. It looks like it's trying to take the shape of a possible cap here. If it does create a cap, it's not going to be a strong one, meaning that the cap can easily become overtaken. I don't see anything too bad in the all of this, but obviously something to look out for. If you know anyone down in Central Texas today, let them know. Shoot me a text, call them like, hey, this really nerdy kid on YouTube, his first video, showed me some stuff on YouTube, shows that there's a chance that you could see a tornado in your area, so just keep a heads up. Chance is still low, like I said. The SPC is only saying a 2% chance as of now. Okay, this could change, but as of now, it's 2%. Okay, and that's at 12Z. Okay. Oh, there's hockey. Oh, hotkeys. Yeah, getting sidetracked here. So it looks like this is all driven off a high pressure system, not a low pressure system, high pressure system. Okay, and we go a couple scans later, and the possible hazard type is now severe storms. So that tornado threat has gone, but the CAPE levels over here are increasing. 3511. Okay, but the photograph has flattened out a little bit. Yes, it's sharp here, but then it flattens out and it gets all the way down here to where basically tornado formations is going to be pretty tough. As you can see, the wind levels here are pretty high, but it's just you need upper level and lower level winds here to complement each other, and in this case they don't. Let's go to these. So now we've got our big segment of storms here. We'll just see what the hazard type is here. Marginal severe weather. So the Cape all of a sudden is down to 24. That is telling me that from that one scan to this scan, those storms have taken up all that convective available potential energy. That's what CAPE stands for. That's what helped tornadoes and these supercell storms be so strong. Okay, and it basically shows me that that storm took all that CAPE out of the atmosphere and just sucked it up and said thank you. So yeah, it doesn't look like the tornado threat will last any longer. I mean, that's pretty normal photograph there. We're still gonna check. We'll check that up there in the northern Panhandle of Texas. As yeah, possible hazard type none. CAPE is now increasing as the storms leave the area. The CAPE's gonna go back up. I mean, there's always CAPE available. Okay, so now we get here, and there's a possible hazard type is a marginal tornado. Okay, so it looks like EF1 possibly tornadoes. And look at the CAPE, 3057. Okay, again, like I said, you know anyone in the northern Panhandle of Texas, text them, shoot them a call, be like, hey, really nerdy kid on YouTube. Okay, said you could have a pretty, I mean, an EF1 tornado. I mean, it's not destructive, but it's not something to joke around with. EF1, it's a minor tornado, but it can do some pretty decent damage, depending on the location. But yeah, shoot him a text, call him back, hey, really nerdy kid on YouTube said that there's a chance of a tornado in your area, okay? So just be vigilant, okay? Heed those warnings, okay? Photograph does show a little bit of lift, but look at these winds. I mean, we've got some intense winds all the way up. I mean, look at this. This is facing this way, and then this one's completely flipped. Like, this would be my main area. As of now, right now, this would be my main area to watch, just because of the wind. Like, phew, jeez. Yeah, those are strong winds up there. As we go into early Wednesday morning, the storms really fire up. We'll just keep looking at the hazard types here. None on this one. As you can see, CAPE is at 0, so there's nothing left. I mean, these storms have taken everything out of this atmosphere down here. So there's some CAPE down here, but there's no threat for severe weather here. And I do think that's going to go along as we go on in the next scan. The storms have pretty much weakened, they've pretty much just become, and all, it's pretty linear storms. Yeah, nothing looking there. But now we do have some of these storms in Kansas. I don't know what these are showing. Probably nothing. Yeah, no CAPE. There's no nothing. This atmosphere's dead. Good. So we'll skip that scan just for the greater good. The fact of the storms will be starting until later over here. So we got a little cell, right? A little blip. A little blip. We always need to monitor those blips because those blips can do some crazy stuff. There is cape. There's 159 cape. So there's not a lot. So this atmosphere is not primed yet, but it doesn't look like it is prime. Looks like this will be mainly an overnight threat for these people in this slight risk for severe weather. As the cape does increase, but not enough upper level wind shear difference. So yeah, that's why the tornado potential is so low, in my opinion. We'll do one more scan here into Thursday. So yeah, nothing terrible. Yeah, this stuff looks pretty minor. So yeah, nothing. It doesn't look anything too terrible for this week. So thank goodness, because we've had a lot, and we really can't afford much more. But yeah, I think that'll do it for today. If you like, if you like the video, make sure to hit that like button. It helps the meta, shows YouTube that you are liking it, and it gets this video out to more people. Subscribe if you will. Just again, helps the meta, shows people are interested in this kind of stuff, and it gets this video out to more people, and it helps the channel grow. As this is the first video on the channel, we want this channel to grow. We want to reach people to help keep people safe. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else for y'all. So just stay weather aware, don't be scared, be prepared, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.